If you're thinking about looking into learning how to foil, I put this video together about this group, this company out of Seattle called Half-Life, and I went from not foiling to foiling in just a handful of hours. So if you're in Seattle and you're interested in this, I just want to give a shout out to these guys. Did a great job. Just search for them on the web, and what you're going to see here is me just looking for them. And then I'm going to show a little bit about my experience learning from these guys. I've been windsurfing for decades, kiteboarding for maybe 4 years, and I'm looking to get into wing foiling. I thought, what better way than to get into it than to learn how to foil behind a boat so I can keep those things independent. Within about 3 hours, I was up and riding, both on a small board, which is kind of like a kiteboard foil, and then something a little bit bigger, which is closer to a wing foil, which I would be going after. The early sessions were done on a short mast on a kiteboard style board, and then the later sessions were done on a longer mast, a 60 centimeter mast. Don't remember what the foil size was for the kite surfing style board, but the one for the wing foil was 1550. I learned a lot from these guys. I can't imagine having struggled on the water to learn how to wing foil and control the foil and get up on the board at the same time. Coming out of that, I just felt really confident about how to ride the foil, and it was amazing just in a handful of hours out on the lake. So what you see here is the first time I was up, and I'm cruising along on the shorter mast on the kiteboarding style kite, and probably a good thing to say is I'm 200 plus pounds, and I'm on a smaller foil, but I'm still kind of popping up. This was great. I switched over to the larger board and the bigger foil, and so I'm feeling a lot more in control. This one kind of cracks me up because I was getting kind of cocky. I was kind of cruising along, and boom, I got the foil out of the air. I just had to play this one over and over again. Basically, let go with my backhand, kind of giving a wave to the boat. As soon as I did that, so sensitive, as soon as you shift your weight at all, my weight went back, the board went into the air, foil went up, I tried to shove it down, and it just dove right down into the water. So a lot of fun. I can't imagine, again, having to try to do this without instruction. So give it a shot. Check them out if you're in the Seattle area. They teach out of Mercer Island, and these guys are great, and good luck. One last thing I wanted to add were just some of my notes coming out of it. I'd say that it was really easy to ride without straps. I know that I thought maybe straps might be something going into it, but I definitely felt like without straps I could do micro movements, and it was easy to move my feet around and just kind of get a sense of where I needed to be on the board. So I don't think I'm going to put any straps on the wing foil when I get started until I really kind of know where I want to be. The other thing is, we're starting off, my rear foot was really too far back, and it wasn't until later in the session that I moved my foot a little bit further, my rear foot a little further forward, and it just gave more weight to push it down. Prior to that, my rear calf muscle was starting to kind of twitch because it was working too hard to kind of get that doing. More notes when I was talking, that the input from John was, rotate kind of both knees and ankles forward, almost like you're, snowboarding down a hill and you want to get yourself set up. Or if you're kiteboarding and you start to kind of twist your body a little bit and you commit to the angle that you're riding in. Let's see, what else do I got? I tried pumping the foil, but I really didn't get all that good at it, so that's something I wanted to work on. Let's see, other things I'd say from the session was I should have been giving Tim and John a little bit more feedback on boat speed. You can kind of see in the video like the tension in the rope, and I'm kind of working a little bit with it. Also on the smaller foil, it was difficult because in order to get the lift I needed, I had to be moving pretty fast, and then I had some apprehension about moving that fast. When we got on the larger foil and the bigger board and the longer mast, I felt a lot more comfortable. The only hard part about that was the start, because the big board really kind of wanted to, in the mast, it really wanted to drive straight behind the boat, so I had to really kind of force it to get it to go outside the wake. So starting on the big board and the big mast, from a dead stop was a lot more difficult. But once I got up and going, I could plane at a much slower speed. I had the higher mast to work with, so I had a little bit bigger margin to get it flying, and that felt great. I found later in the session, this is just me and wakeboarding or whatever, really giving them the hit it command so that I'm all set, because I can't really see exactly what I'm doing as far as getting get my feet in place and stuff like that. So that was really helpful. I had a couple times where I was like not quite ready, and it looked like I was ready, and boom. Let's see what else I got here. This one's funny. When you wipe out, try not to get the board. Try not to let the board get too far away from you. So for safety reasons, there was no leash. But a lot of times, if that board, and this is a reason why you'd want a leash, because as soon as I wiped out, that board just shot away from me, and there's a fair amount of energy spent swimming towards it. So towards the end of it, when I fell off, I was trying to grab the board, or try to keep it close to my feet as I could. That would definitely be a time saver. Really, for me, riding on the longer mast was much better because it gave me the ability to kind of get up. I never felt like with the shorter mast that I was climbing. I never really felt like I was flying, to tell you the truth. It wasn't until I got a long mast where I was kind of able to angle it up and really get it out of the air, and I felt like I was really, really kind of actually on foil. One last thing that I was looking at that was kind of interesting is I found it more difficult to ride through some of the boat wakes, because I guess I had this sense that I would ride over those waves pretty easily, but it wasn't quite the case, and I'm not exactly sure why. I'm sure Tim and John have the answer for that, but me going out there, hitting some of the boat wakes, even when I was up on foil, still felt like it was, I had to do some adjustment for it. So wanted to share those things in addition to the other parts of this video. So if you're thinking about it, I came out like today, I had some wipeouts, but in this day after, the only thing that really hurt for me was my neck from the wipeouts, and you wipe out and your head just kind of keeps going. The rest of my body, back, arms, compared to the first days of kiteboarding, I'm not sore at all. So this was much, much less exhausting. So all in all, I keep saying it's a great experience, had a blast. Give it a shot.